I work for QCL Group here in Brisbane. Roles range from anywhere with sitting with architects, clients, going through wall types, wall systems, all the way through to on-site day-to-day stuff, whether it be pre-start, safety, looking after the apprentices, and all things install, all things quality. So QCL, we're a smaller base company here in Brisbane, mainly a base with the tier 2 sort of towers towards the tier 1 high-end finishes for all things commercial in Brisbane. Speed panel popped up, the product we hadn't heard before, heard a lot about it with the applications within Melbourne and Sydney more primarily, and that's how the conversation started with Speed Panel. Having issues in previous projects with sound quality, with firewalls, was a massive turning point for us once we started testing a bit further with Speed Panel in regards to sound. All assessments that we saw from Speed Panel were very, very well documented. You could easily see that although they were achieving a 120 fire rate wall, it could have excelled much further than just the 120 system. The major thing that stood out for us as a company from Speed Panel to other suppliers is actually doing live testing. A lot of other suppliers, we went to them trying to get greater acoustic qualities, and just getting books and documents given to us rather than actual testing, looking at the wall systems, looking at issues we've had previously, setting those up and doing live acoustic testing. It wasn't just a textbook in front of us, it was how the wall will be built, what systems, what services will be running through those walls, what penetrations, whether it's acoustic, fire. It was great. Cavcorp and their clients are very, very high-end when it comes to finishes. To have clientele walking in feeling safe with the fire rating that we've installed, along with the premium acoustic performances, not hearing your neighbours. A lot of apartments I've been to, even when out and about, you can hear the neighbour making dinner, you can hear the neighbour with the kids. Although it's not ample noise, it's still noise that you can hear. And as much as it meets the Australian standard, Cavcorp and Torrie in particular really do strive to go above and beyond the Australian standards. So when it comes to defects with Speed Panel, we're still working with human error within the systems. The biggest benefit for us with Speed Panel is those human errors have minimised. There's a screw here missing, a little bit of mastic. Traditional, say, lightweight wall systems, we're looking at where we're having to cut full sections of sheet out with human error, having butt joins lining up, and other items like that. It just takes the larger, more costly defects away from the situation. The end-to-end support from Speed Panel has been immense. With Speed Panel, from ordering, knowing what we're getting, when we're getting it, good or bad, we can mitigate that on site. All the way through to having Martin here on site, weekly catch-ups, fortnightly catch-ups, always a phone call away, and there's always someone to answer that phone to answer the questions we may have. Speed Panel's initial cost, obviously, when we first engaged Speed Panel, did take us back marginally, especially once starting to install. We found that what we were achieving time-wise, we could achieve with 3 guys in 3 days, the same as taking 7 guys 4 days. So once you start looking into the labour costs, along with defects and having to change things later on to fix those defects, Speed Panels is a very easy option to go for. Incredible to be able to achieve so much with such little manpower. If we're looking at 100mm gained over a 15 metre long apartment, obviously square metre wise that's immense with what they're selling these apartments for per square metre. It's the difference between a bedroom being 3.2 to 3.3, although on paper it doesn't seem much once that's filled with the bed. Everything else it just seems so much greater. And knowing that the acoustics are also greater is just such a better product. Using SpeedPanel for the intertenancy walls, in particular on typical levels, really sped up the process and really got the project moving at such a great rate. The scheduling was tight. Being able to save a day or two each week with 3 guys, it just meant we achieved so much more within the project. Moving forward using SpeedPanel in the future, sitting down with developers and architects, getting the design phase of the construction correct, we'll always be putting SpeedPanel first when it comes to the high end, or any apartment for that fact, just knowing that we're safe with fire and sound rating, which is so critical in the construction game these days.